You all may be seated. We're going to get our program started with our first guest who's going to come up. This person is someone who has supported our organization since day one. For anyone who was here 2 years ago, 2013, this person served as our keynote speaker. And during that time, we were looking for a keynote speaker. We said, who could we invite who will come speak, who can help, pack the room? And we said, Congressman Elijah Cummings. Now, we sent an invitation to his office, and we were waiting for a no. Congressman Cummings is a genuine person, and he said yes without knowing anything about our organization. And he came that year. He served as keynote speaker for our first gala, and his support continued. He supported us with our prayer breakfast. He supported us by coming to our barbecue we had at Julio Park. He's been a supporter of this organization. He's made contributions financially to this organization. And those who were here last year, we honored him as one of our honorees because of the support he's given this organization. And so we invited him this year. He decided to come. And if anyone knows anything about Congressman Cummings, Friday is family day for him and his wife. He don't do anything on Friday. And so I thank Congressman Cummings for coming here on a Friday to be with this small organization called Women with Class and Young Men with Power. So without further ado, we're going to get some greetings from Congressman Elijah Cummings.
Good evening, everyone. Well, we do better than that. Good evening, everyone. It is certainly my honor and my privilege to be here. And, every time I come to this event and I see our children marching up the aisle, come on now. I said our children, they belong to all of us. As my mother would say, it just make my heart glad. Keenan, I want to thank you for being a dreamer, for dreaming big dreams. But I not only thank you for dreaming big dreams, I thank you for dreaming dreams for somebody else. Come on now. A lot of folks, they just dream dreams for themselves. But he dreams a dream for these beautiful, awesome, intelligent, sharp ladies and gentlemen. To all of the parents, to all of the folks that work with Keenan to lift up our children, I thank you. I have a 33-year-old daughter who came to me about a month ago, and she handed me a check for $1,000. And I said, what is this for? She said, Daddy, I just want to repay you for all that you've done for me. She said, I know you struggled to put me through college, and now I'm making more money than you. But I want to pay you back. And Marilyn, I said to her, I said, you've already paid me. I said, I am so proud of the woman you have become. And then she said something that just kind of tore my heart out, put it back. She said, Daddy, through you I see me. Through you, I see me. That's what this is all about. through our children, we see ourselves. And hopefully through us, they see themselves. So when they look out into a caring audience, and they have people coming and teaching them little etiquette stuff, and going on field trips, and taking time out with them, they have an opportunity to see adults who are determined to help them discover their talents and their gifts. And they are then able to see them, these adults, trying to help them nurture those gifts and those talents. And so we all deserve a hand. But you know, one great philosopher said, it's not what you take from the earth, it's what you give back to others that count. When you're dead and gone, what you take goes in the casket with you. What you give to others, that lives on. When I look at our guest speaker tonight, Melanie Mosley, she's one that gives and gives and gives. And her husband, Nick, two tremendous givers, two Tuskegee graduates. They never let you forget that, by the way. Amen. But they are givers over and over and over again. And what they do is not about money, it's about wanting to lift up people and making a difference in people's lives. And I'm so glad that Melanie's going to be our guest speaker. And I'm also very glad that she is our state's attorney. Give her a hand. And so to our young people, I just leave you with three things. Number one, I want you to go out and create a liberated future. Create a liberated future. And when I say a liberated future, what I mean is go out there and get all the education you can get. Take advantage of opportunities to be exposed to travel and conferences and anything that comes your way that allows you to grow. A liberated future. Hang with the right crowd. Come on now, parents. Don't leave me out here by myself. Hang with the right crowd. As a criminal lawyer, I saw so many of our beautiful children, and I know Marilyn knows what I'm talking about. Beautiful children, brilliant, with all kinds of possibilities, hanging out with the wrong crowd. And so to our children, I say, if you want to be great, hang around with great people. Hang around with great people. And so that's number one. Number two, have confidence in your competence. Tweet that. Have confidence in your competence. And what I mean by that is that everything that happens to you up until this moment, good, bad, and ugly, prepares you for this moment. Sometimes you think that some of the things you go through, you're pained and you feel so frustrated. I'm almost done, just give me one more second. I live in the inner city, and if a fly moves, you see it. Confidence in your competence. I mean, if parents, you know what I'm talking about. You went through some things through your life, and you thought it was the worst thing in the world. That girl that you thought was the best thing since ice cream left you, or you didn't get into the school that you thought you were going to get into, or you didn't get the grade that you thought you were going to get, or you didn't get the job that you were hoping to get. But all of that prepared you for where you are. And so I ask our children to understand that all that you are going through is preparing you for something great. And as I close, I ask you to do one more thing. Do not get married to convenience. Marry conviction. Marry conviction. What do you mean by that, Mr. Congressman? So many, oh God, Nick, so many of our people, they get so caught up in trying to have convenience. So they don't study. They go to the party instead of studying. Or they go and watch Empire. They know more about Cookie than they know about their own family. Cookie is bad dog now, Cookie. Talking about myself. Y'all must admit. Now Monique said she wanted that part? No. That girl played that part. You gotta know something about the inner city to do that part. And she does it to the nth degree. But anyway, that's just a little side note. And they gave it the right name. There's a cookie in every neighborhood. Some cookies up in there, probably. Where was I? And so, but be married to conviction. Stand for something. Stand for something. And then pursue it with all you have. It's my honor and my privilege to introduce a lady that I have just a tremendous amount of respect for. We watched her, we remember the same church, by the way. And she is a woman who is God-fearing. She is a woman who is a wonderful wife and a wonderful mother. We have watched her balance so much and achieve so much in a little bit of time. But there's no way she could achieve it unless she had a strong belief in herself and in her God. And she got a bad brother right by her side. I didn't say behind her, by her side. Am I right, Nick? Come on, Nick, don't be down myself. And she is doing things in that state's attorney's office about fairness and making sure that justice is done. That's what the state's attorney's office is all about. And as a lawyer, I can tell you, I am so, so proud. I am so proud that she's my state's attorney. I'm introducing her, right? Okay. I just want to make sure that I didn't want to mess up the protocol. Now they say in church, don't want to mess up the protocol. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please meet and greet a great, great lady. I don't know what her future will bring. I pray to God that I live long enough to see it all. But she is an awesome lady. She's got class, and she knows how, she knows how to make tough decisions. And she is in a role that she has to make some real tough decisions that affect people's lives every day. But I'm so glad that she has good judgment. I'm so glad that she's smart. I'm so glad that she's a graduate of an HBCU. And I'm so glad that she's our state's attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, please get up and give a hand to Marilyn Mosby, our state's attorney.
Thank you to Congressman Cummings. He was introducing Marilyn Mosby, but she's speaking after dinner, but we wanted him to introduce Marilyn. So we're going to move forward in our program by recognizing 3 organizations who have supported Young Men with Power and Women with Class.
Okay, so the first recognition that we have is for a group called Youth as Resources. Youth Youth Resources provides small grant money to organizations like Women with Class and Young with Power so that we can be able to continue programs like this for the youth. And to date, combined, Young Men with Power and Women with Class have received over $10,000 from Youth Resources over the years to continue our program. And so if someone from Youth Resources could come up and accept the award that we have for you all. So this is a certificate of appreciation. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Youth Resources in honor and sincere appreciation for your support, dedication, and sponsorship of the Young Men with Power and Women with Class programs.
Can we give another round of applause to Youth Resources? They're giving us over $10,000. Youth Resources is a grant organization that is ran by young people under the age of 21. So that's a board of people under the age of 21 who gives out grant money. The second organization we want to recognize has been in support of us since day one. They're connected with the Pennsylvania Avenue Anglican Church. They sponsored our gala the first 2 years. They've been able to sponsor some of our breakfast that we had, our prayer breakfast. So without further ado, the next group we want to recognize is Design Development Corporation. And this certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Design Development Corporation Incorporated in honor and sincere appreciation of the support, dedication, sponsorship of Young Men with Power and Women with Class program. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And this last person we want to recognize, this lady is not an organization, but individuals like this person we should always recognize for their time that they give. And for our prayer breakfast that we do in November, we have a cook who cooks all of our food by herself. She's cooking the eggs, the bacon, the toast, the grits, the apples, and everyone is in love with it. So without further ado, this last person we want to recognize is Miss Annie Ruth Nelson. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Annie R. Nelson in honor and sincere appreciation of your support and dedication to the participants of the Young Men with Power and Women with Class program. Again, tonight is about the Young Men with Power and Women with Class participants. And we want to now allow you all to hear from them. Each of them have prepared a short one-minute speech to let you know about their experience in the program and to let you know about what they learned in the program. So we will hear from the females first of the Women with Class program, followed by the young men in the Young Men with Power program. And then dinner will be served.
Good evening. My name is Audrey Marveline. I'm 15 years old. The C in Young Men with Class stands for character. Character is the foundation of a person. It's something that you have to develop. It's something that you have to mold. It's something that grows and changes over time. Women with Class, we learn valuable lessons that help us develop our own character. Lessons like the importance of education, being a lady, standing up for what's right, and having self-confidence. A young preacher once said, "A woman should not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Dr. Martin Luther King believed that a person should be judged on who they are, not by what they look like. Your character is so important that it needs to be shaped in a way, the best way that it can. This program has helped us develop our own characters to the best of its ability so that we can become the great young woman that we are today and the great woman that we will become. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Natalia Jones. I attend Randallstown High School. I'm 16 years old and I'm in the 10th grade. Today, I want to talk about the word class. The word class, well, talking about the letter L in class. The letter L stands for leadership. Leadership means to me someone who stands and inspires, someone who acts and inspires others to dream more and do more. A workshop that we did that involved leadership was when a guest had came and talked to us about speaking to an audience. Sorry. I chose this workshop because a leader should know how to talk to young men and women and so they could look up to one another. I'm sorry, I was just so nervous. Today, I chose this because a leader should be able to help someone that is in need and to guide people who are in trouble and who just need someone to look up to. I wanted to thank Ms. Katia and Ms. Natalie for taking their time out to help us young ladies to, do well in school and just follow their dreams and I can't do this. And just have fun. Yeah.
Good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? That's wonderful. Okay, my name is Maya Younger. I'm in the 8th grade and I attend the Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women. This evening I will be talking to you about the L in class, which stands for leadership. A leader to me is someone who is their own person and doesn't mind taking charge in a task. Leadership is having characteristics of a leader while being assertive and ready to get the job done. Some examples of leadership qualities are honesty, integrity, empathy, being open-minded, encouraging, trustworthy, and kind. Throughout the program, I have used these qualities to form friendships, team activities, and learn more about myself and others. While zipping and swinging high in the sky, above the ground, my friends encouraged me and I did the same for them. It helps you feel better when you know more than yourself believes in you. Leadership was used in different ways throughout the program. Everyone in their own way shows their style of leadership, but a key concept of leadership is being kind and having empathy. We all learned this at the retreat and sleepover when we decided to have a heart-to-heart. Based off the information that everyone took in as a group, we got closer and our friendship started to build off the foundation of trust, which is very important. I have been a participant of Young Women with Class for 2 years and have learned so much about myself and others. Not only did I learn Not only did I learn about leadership, but I learned about the importance of teamwork. I would like to thank the program leaders in the program for all they have done for me in the last 2 years. It has been a great experience, and I'm thankful and grateful for all the hard work and energy that was put into me, the participants in the program. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Banks, and I go to Deer Park Middle Magnet School. I'm 14, and I'm in the 8th grade. I'll be talking about the A in Women with Class, which stands for achievement. Achievement is something accomplished appreciatively by superior ability, special effort, great courage, and a great or heroic deed. Achievement was shown in this class by us going to Terrapin Adventures. When we went, I achieved victory in the obstacles by overcoming my fears. I achieved trust and new friends. I achieved to speak to people that I didn't know that well. I achieved a new mentality to grow as a young woman and be a person that will be successful. Since I've been here, I've been achieving everything I wanted in life so far and making new goals to achieve in the future. I'm glad my parents put me in this program. I would like to thank my family, Katia, Miss Natalie, and my parents for being here for me and supporting me.
Good evening. My name is Christiana Scott. I am 14 years old and I attend Academy for College and Career Exploration. I will be talking about the second S in class. This S stands for success. Success is the achievement of desire or dream. And when we were in class, we did various workshops. One of our workshops, we met with an etiquette teacher who talked to us about how to dress for success and how to have confidence in what we do in order to be successful. We all can be successful. It doesn't matter what you want to be, a lawyer, a doctor, a preacher, or a singer. You have the ability to be successful. With education, motivation, and encouragement, anything is possible. Wealth and fame shall never show how successful you are, but the difference from where you are and where you can. There will always be people doubting your success, but the best revenge for them is by proving them wrong. Role models are examples of successful people that children look up to and aim to be more like. Striving to be successful means you are striving to be the best you can, aiming for perfection, showing everyone that any dream can come true. Conrad Hilton once said, success seems to be connected with action. Success keeps people moving. They make mistakes and they don't quit, so never quit, keep pushing. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Demetrius Underwood. I am a senior at Franklin High School. Okay, praise the Lord. Of an annual purpose. And when we was class did a workshop where we talked about college and applying for grants and scholarships. This benefited me a lot, means that in August I will be attending college. To me, success is only a step away from us all. Despite what others say, despite who puts us down, we all are able to succeed in our lifetime. Every step counts, so we must take it a step at a time. We all need motivation and inspiration. Without the two, we are mindless people who search the world in search of sustenance and a means to keep life moving forward. We thrive for a lot in life, happiness, security, longevity, and love. But why not thrive to be successful? Succeed for your own good. Steve Jobs once said, our time is limited here on earth, so don't waste it living someone else's. By working for others, we're content but not successful. Success is taking something you believe in and making it yours. So let's all succeed. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
show himself confident. Strength is a female who's with numerous hardships, but still has the mentality to push through with life. At our sleepover, we had a heart-to-heart talk that escalated to tears being shed and open feelings on our personal lives. Everyone has a story, some worse than others. But the real strength is the beauty of the struggle. Strength isn't always easy. It will never be, especially for women. Strength is realizing broken crayons still color the same. My definition of strength is when we play. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ernest Marley. In the Young Male Power program, we learn how to turn young boys into men. We have wonderful mentors, Mr. Keith Jackson and Mr. Keenan Jeter. I think that power stands for having power over what you want to do with your life. This program is about helping young men reach their full potential. Our mentors teach us important skills like having manners, healthy eating choices, education, career paths, and many other things that we might need in life. We appreciate them for the help and time and effort that they put into this program by helping us become young male proud. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sylvester Graham. I attend Deer Park Middle Magnet School. I am 13 years old in the 8th grade. I am a participant in the Young Women Power group. And the word Young Men with Power means purpose, optimism, wisdom, engagement, and responsibility. I chose purpose. I have a purpose for being here today because I don't want to be a young man that has their parents hanging down and a young man that is not disrespectful. Overall, I want to be a gentleman and a scholar. This program taught me how to dress properly, how to act properly, and have table manners. To close out, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Keith and Mr. Keenan, for your dedicated time with me.
Good evening. My name is Sorrel Carr. I am 15 years old. I was born right in Baltimore City, and I am currently in the 9th grade. And also I attend Frederick Douglass High School. Out of the word power, I chose the letter O, which means optimism. I am a very optimistic person. I am optimistic because I know that I will accomplish all of my goals in spite of every test, trial, and tribulation. Life is real and it's not a show. My goals include excelling in all my academics so that I may attend a good college, to continue to perfect my musical talents, and to focus on my career and goal of being a music teacher and performer. This program has helped me to understand the necessary steps or process of getting through some of life challenges to become an outstanding young man and productive member of society. I'd like to thank Mr. Cannon and Mr. Keith for taking the time to be one of the positive influences in my life. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jayla Numbers and I am 13 years old. I go to a school called Baltimore Design School and I am in the 8th grade. I've learned a lot from Young Men with Power, from the fact that they taught me things that I would need in real life. It has also taught me how to cooperate with friends in the program. Now, I chose to stay in this program for wisdom, and so far I have found it. I've learned how to use checks, dress properly, eat properly, and how to tie. I also learned how to have respect for myself. I've set myself to become a chef, a video game designer, or a swimmer. Since I like to eat good food, I decided that maybe I wanted to be a chef. If I ever failed, I thought that since I like to play video games, that it would be okay for me to be in the game designer area. Finally, I like to swim. Swimming is an excellent sport for me to play. Since I'm really good at it, I can maybe join a swim team. I can get money with every choice that I picked, either making great food, a best-selling video game, or playing sports. So pretty much where I'm getting at is, you need wisdom for anything in life. And therefore, I thank you and good night.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Haynes. I'm 13 years old and I'm in the 7th grade in Yankee 2. In the word power, the E stands for engagement. When you engage, you occupy the attention of a person or people. You put effort into affecting their lives. That is what the Young Men with Power has done for me. I've learned various life traits such as time to time, professional dress, team building, and financial literacy. The Young Men with Power have also met various role models such as President Obama and others. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Keenan, Ms. Katia, and their staff for making all this possible. So in essence, this program is great and I recommend it to others. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, my name is Jeremy Seaton. I am in the 10th grade at Luther G. Jefferson STEM Academy West. I am a scholar athlete who participates in football and lacrosse. I am blessed to be standing before you this evening. The Young Men with Power program is a great program for young African American males. The P in power represents purpose. The O represents optimism. The W represents wisdom. The E represents engagement. And the R represents responsibility. This program has positively influenced my life. I am a respectful and responsible and intelligent young man because of my family and loved ones and Mr. Keenan and Mr. Keith. As young men, we must decide what to achieve, learn all we can about it, and commit to working hard to get it. We must also know the power of choice and know that we have the power to lead ourselves respectfully and learn our mistakes in life. At this time, I would like to tell you of a poem that you should go home and read. A legacy of a lesson. Thank you for attending the Young Men with Power and Women with Class 2015 game.
Let's give all the participants. At this moment, dinner will be served, and while dinner is served, we'll hear the band Rose Gold.
This day, for this occasion, we thank you for these wonderful young people who are a shining example of both our present and our future. We pray that your presence will be among us as we share with each other and as we feast in fellowship, that we be nourished both in body and soul. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Miss Marilyn Lewis.
Good evening. Thank you for that warm introduction, Katia. First, I'd like to say that this is such an honor to be among all of you beautiful people today. Everybody is all dressed up. And these young people, they deserve another round of applause. You all did outstanding. I'm so proud. Young Men of Power and Young Women in Class are founded on many of the same principles dear to my own heart. Keenan and Katia work tirelessly to address the concerns of our communities through public service, leadership development, and being the ideal example for our young people. So before I speak another word, I must take a moment to acknowledge and extend my sincere appreciation for Keenan and Katia. You guys are doing the work that our children desperately need. So I want to say thank you. Not a single word that I speak today will be an empty one. This moment, more so than any other, has overwhelmed my senses with humility, vigor, and pride. With all of the negativity that's happening in our world today surrounding young people, events such as this, where we honor those young folks who are actually making a difference in their communities, realizing their power and recognizing their class, these events, this recognition is vital in our effort to take advantage of that awesome power of now. To uplift, to empower, to support, to overcome the many challenges that young men and women, especially African Americans, throughout our city, state, and country face each and every day. Empowering the young people in our lives is so crucial in the progress of our communities. You see, every great movement toward progress began with young people unafraid to challenge the status quo in the pursuit of justice, unafraid to, in the words of Harriet Tubman, reach for the stars and change the world. Taking complete advantage of the awesome power of now, an ideology shaped by and taught by every prolific leader throughout our history, I was sworn in as the state's attorney for Baltimore City, and at 35 years of age, I am the youngest chief prosecutor of any major American city. When I decided to run for Baltimore City State's Attorney, I embarked on a journey that was not easy or rooted in an abundance of external support. I sat down with any and every politician, business owner, community and clergy leader to ask for their guidance and support in my endeavor. To my dismay, an overwhelming majority of those discussions ended with optimism for my vision, but skepticism in my ability to carry out my vision. Most of those skeptics went as far as to even discourage me from running for this position in the first place. And whether their skepticism was rooted in love or hatred, I was told over and over again that now was not my time. I was told that my dream was impossible. I was told that I was too young. I was too inexperienced, that I couldn't raise enough money. My decision to run would not only interrupt, but potentially destroy my husband's political career. For me to run against an incumbent with powerful backers who had the ability of raising close to $1 million. The skeptics wanted to know, how could I have the audacity? After thinking long and hard about the skepticism of those cynics, I thought about the audacity of those fearless women and those who have come throughout our history, such as Thurgood Marshall, Rosa Parks, Perrin J. Mitchell, Dorothy Height, President Barack Obama, Congressman John Lewis, and Congressman Elijah Cummings, all of whom have been unafraid to challenge the status quo in the pursuit of justice, all of whom had the audacity to move forward. I decided that as a wife, a mother raising 2 little girls in the heart of West Baltimore, a woman of faith, and a former prosecutor with 6 years of experience and an overall 80% conviction rate, that I possessed the vision and the foresight to reform the criminal justice system. I decided in that moment my desire to change the criminal justice system, a system that has historically and disproportionately affected so many communities of color, far outweighed the force of any skepticism. I decided that I was going to pursue my purpose and leverage the awesome power of now and run for Baltimore City State's Attorney. Because, you see, much like the spirit of Booker T. Washington when he proclaimed, "I have begun everything with the idea that I could succeed," and I had never much patience with the multitudes of people who are always ready to explain why one cannot succeed. Unbeknownst to the skeptics, the depths of my conviction and the passion to succeed was because of them. Looking at the plight of my community and the unparalleled destruction and destructive impact that the criminal justice system, I looked around and I decided that I was not going to pass my grandfather's fight onto my children's children. You see, from slavery to Jim Crow to the industrial prison complex, I decided that enough was enough. And that God had provided me with a purpose and He wanted me to walk in that purpose. Throughout the journey of my campaign, I was reminded of Isaiah 41, verse 10. "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I walked in God's purpose for my life, and on June 24, 2014, I won the Democratic nomination for Baltimore City State's Attorney in a surprising upset where I beat an incumbent that outraised me 4-1 by double-digit percentage points. You see, this was not the first time that my faith and my purpose was tested. I can recall countless examples throughout my life where I had to step out on faith and not allow my current situation or circumstance to define my destiny. Like when I graduated magna cum laude from Tuskegee University and I was waitlisted to every single law school that I applied to because I didn't do as well on my LSAT. I had to think outside the box and began calling around and requesting interviews so that I could assure the admissions director that my LSAT score was not indicative of my potential. I was told that this was a hopeless effort. I was told that not do it and to just give up. Start working. My faith and my purpose was real, and walking in God's purpose for my life, I did not listen to the naysayers, and I got into my first choice law school. Then, after successfully graduating from a top 25 law school, once again, my faith and my purpose was tested. Yet again, when I did not initially pass the bar exam, never allowing my circumstance or situation to define my destiny, I became relentless in my pursuit to walk in my destiny. I was determined that I would prevail. I would be a prosecutor. And I did. Those memories, those experiences are real and vivid and sit on the tip of my mental cognizance, because it's those memories that force me to never give up. Never take no as the last answer. Never allow my purpose to be subdued or defined by another person's vision of me. You see, today I stand before you the benefactor of our ancestors' courage and wisdom. I tell you my story not to brag or to boast. I tell you my story because I got to where I am today, not from my own doing, but because of the blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifices of those that have come before me. I got to where I am today because of people like Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Fannie Lou Hamer, Shirley Chisholm, Dr. Ann Emory, and Congressman Elijah Cummings. I got to where I am today because of the sacrifices, works, commitment, and dedication to the betterment of youth, our families, our communities, from organizations like Young Men of Power and Young Women of Class. Having accomplished what others said could not be done, I fully appreciate that once again, in the words of Booker T. Washington, success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles which he has overcome. You see, all too often in our communities, when we feel we've reached a level of success, we want people to see where we are and not how we got to where we are. But we must continue to pass our testimonies, our tried and tested journeys on to the generations coming behind us. We must constantly remind ourselves that our success is the byproducts of the fruits of someone else's labor. And true individual success is judged on not what we have obtained, but rather what we have done to put others in a position to obtain greater. This is what Keenan and Katia are doing through this organization. We are the extension of our ancestors' vision, and we must continue to carry the torch in order to impact the injustices that ever so clearly present their strongholds on communities of color. We've all seen the headlines, we've read the reports, and we're all too often reminded of the statistics, all which show that people of color are systematically disadvantaged in this world that we live in today. According to the Bureau of Justice, 1 in 3 black men will go to prison in their lifetime. According to the Prison Policy Initiative nationwide, blacks are 6 times more likely to be incarcerated than whites. In the 42 years since the Bureau of Labor Statistics started tracking unemployment data by race, black unemployment has been on average 66% higher than that of whites. In a study of test scores of school-aged children between 1990 and 2007, our children trail white children by 28 points in academic performance. And as recently as 2009, 11 states with felony disenfranchisement policies effectively reduced their African American voting populations by more than 10%. You see, the laws of changeless justice bind oppressor with oppressed. The words of Booker T. Washington could not be truer as we watch Ferguson, Missouri streets filled with high-caliber machine guns, mine-resistant armored vehicles, tear gas, Molotov cocktails, and masked protesters beaming images of civil unrest that is carried into the week, as 2 officers were shot just yesterday. It's been 105 days since a grand jury refused to indict a police officer who killed an unarmed black teenager dead in the street in Ferguson, Missouri. It's been 96 days since a grand jury refused to indict the police officer responsible for taking the life of Eric Garner, an unarmed black man with asthma. The awesome power of now, interjecting with what our ancestors have instilled in us, calls on us. Whether in Baltimore, Birmingham, or Baton Rouge, we must take a national stand and intentionally redirect the trajectory of the next generation. Through our collective embodiment of our cause, it's up to us to force change. You see, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once eloquently proclaimed our current call to action when he said, "We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today." We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is only a time for vigorous and positive action. Our time is now. The time to act, the time to get engaged in the political process, to become part of the solution to transforming the state of our communities begins with you. It begins today. We as a community have to get off the sidelines and get into the game of life, the game of progress. It starts today with each and every one of us recognizing, appreciating, and giving back, as Keenan and Katia are doing through this organization. To the foundation, this is the organization that leads to the Foundation for Greatness for 15 young men and women that are stood before us today. We, as the next generation and byproducts of the legacy of our forefathers, not only have the ability, but we have an obligation to stand up and be a part of writing our country's history. Ladies, we must step up and be the example for the young women coming behind us, letting our young girls know that respect for their bodies and their mind is what makes them beautiful. All right. Class, character, leadership, achievement, strength, and success. Ladies, you must know that you can succeed at anything that you put your mind to, despite what the critics might say. All right. Fellas, you are more than the negative media depictions of you. You are kings. You are the foundation of our families and our communities, and we need you to know and understand your power, purpose, optimism, wisdom, engagement, and responsibility. We must instill in our children, in the words of Theodore Roosevelt, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best in the end knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. After just celebrating the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday and the march from Selma to Montgomery, the work that organizations such as these carry out on behalf of our children, on behalf of our people, is just as important today as it was 50 years ago. The battle lines and the cast of characters may have changed, but the struggle remains. The struggle continues. Ladies and gentlemen, as African Americans, we do not know defeat, and our time to claim victory is now. To all the young men and young women being honored today, reach for the stars. Pursue your passion, and always remember to exhibit your strength, because you will one day change the world. Thank you. We want to give a round of applause for our keynote speaker one more time. At this time, we have an award for Ms. Marilyn Mosby. This is a certificate of appreciation. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Mrs. Marilyn Mosby in honor and sincere appreciation for your support, dedication, and sponsorship of the Young Men with Power and Women with Class programs, and for serving as our keynote speaker. At this time, we will have one of the participants from the Women with Class program, Ms. Shayla Harris, come up and do a solo that she has prepared for us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shayla Harris. I'm 14 years old. I attend Milford Mill Academy, and I was looking at my friends and family, and I saw them looking at me like, when is she going to speak? Well, I'm not going to speak, but I am going to explain my feelings about this program, my experiences, the best way I know how to. So, there's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer. If you reach into your soul, the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you.
Part of the Young Men with Power and Women with Class program is our workshops that we have every week. So for 15 weeks, each one of these young ladies and young men came to hear a workshop about something, whether it be professional dressing, etiquette, financial literacy. All of them have learned the skills that they need to be successful in life. So at this time, we have some program facilitators who will be coming up to speak and just give you a synopsis of what they experienced when they came and talked to our young ladies and young men.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank both of you for inviting me to come and speak to the young ladies. I had the opportunity to facilitate the Dress for Success workshop. We talked about confidence. The key component to dressing for success is confidence. And that is confidence through their thinking, confidence through their habits, and then finally confidence through their appearance. And the goal for the entire workshop was learning and building on your confidence. So I would like to, at this time, just share with you. I started teaching the etiquette program, Eastern School of Etiquette. Oh gosh, maybe about a year ago I started the business. I have a heart for working for the young ladies and just encouraging them to do and be the very best that they can be. And the young ladies that I did work with, they have so much confidence, and they have wonderful smiles, very warm, kind, caring young ladies. And I would like to thank you again. Thank you.
We have an award for Ms. Valerie Nance, a certificate of appreciation, in honor and sincere appreciation for your support and commitment by serving as a workshop facilitator to the participants of the Women with Class program.
The next workshop facilitator we want to come up was the first facilitator we had for the first week for the young men. He's from the University of Baltimore, and he worked with the participants on career development. So Mr. McCree.
Thank you, Keith. I want to say congratulations to both you young men and young ladies. I think the most important thing in life is you start something and you finish. And if you don't make it the first time, and I know one person didn't make it the first time, you try again. So congratulations. We talked about career development, and we had an engaging conversation with the young men to talk about probably 5 different components of career development that we wanted to make sure that they explore. The first one was professionalism. And so I talked to them about the means of what is professionalism, as well as how do you, all the things that you've learned in school, the rules, and how you're supposed to conduct yourself, how do you think you need to conduct yourself in a work environment? And they were able to really dialogue and ask questions about that. The second part was about appearances, first appearances. How do you need to dress based on the different type of places that you end up going in middle school and high school and so forth? And the interesting part was, I always tell them that, you know, if you were invited to a graduation, for an example, and I thought that was the funniest part, is you invite to a graduation, how would you dress? And they really looked at the different type of ways that you could dress for that particular occasion. But when I told the young men it was a nice young lady that you saw from school when she was there, how would you really dress? So they really got engaged. The third part was talking about college. Why college? You hear all this information about college. What is the importance of college, and why do you need to start thinking about that? Fourth one was career versus a job. And we sort of explore the sort of what's the difference between the two. And then the last one, we talked about how do you present yourself on paper through resume as well as cover letter. So I had some interesting conversation, and glad I was a part of this, and really appreciate all their engaging and helping me to learn about what they do and you know, sort of what's so important to them with regards to how they see the world. So thanks again.
And so we present this certificate of appreciation. The certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Raymond McCree in honor and sincere appreciation of his support and commitment by serving as workshop facilitator to the participants of the Young Men with Power program. The next person we want to invite up is from the University of Baltimore as well. He worked with both the females and the males on etiquette. And so we'll hear from Mr. Nicholas Hawkins.
Thank you, Tina. First of all, I just want to say I'm very proud of you all. No one asked for little cups of ketchup to go with their chicken. And I wonder where to place the napkin. I'm very proud of you guys for that. So my name is Nick Hawkins, and I work with the young men and the young women on dining etiquette. Then I broke out with the young men and discussed with them the importance of professionalism and reputation management. So we kind of talked about how to really be yourself in public, how to pursue your goals, your visions, your dreams, and how to really make the most out of your life. So I just want to say that it's been a complete honor every single year. Thank you so much, Katia and Keenan, for inviting me back. At least you think that what I have to say is important, so I appreciate that. But more so, thanks to you guys for just not only being wonderful and listening, but really being interested in what I have to say. It makes me feel that the future is very secure. So thank you again for letting me be part of this process with you.
And so this certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Nicholas Hopkins in honor and sincere appreciation for your support and commitment by serving as workshop facilitator to the participants of the Young Men with Power and Working Class program. And so the next facilitator we want to have come up, this individual worked with both the Women in Class and Young Men with Power on public speaking, and that's Mr. Barry Sims.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you guys? You look beautiful. Awesome. I get to work with them at the end, right? So they were really happy to see me. We talked about different things in terms of public speaking. One of the words was enunciate. One of the things we worked on was saying our names, right? We worked on saying our names because several of us, when we said our name, when this name was said to me, I thought they said something completely different. So I had to say, not only are you going to be confident in yourself, and you want to make sure that you command the room when you speak, right? You want to make sure everyone knows who you are, because that's important. And then you want to command the room. We also talked about all kinds of other interesting things, like when people come in and sometimes they might be late and you're speaking. And what happens? You keep speaking because that's who you are at that point in the program. And so when the microphone went crazy, that was a very interesting way of handling it. It was well done because it was like, I have to keep moving. So some of the things that we talked about, it was great to see that you guys did. Did you all take a deep breath like I told you? Did it help? No. We talked about different things like that, like just calming yourself down before you start. And so we worked on doing deep breaths before each person started speaking so that they could feel confident. We'll work on that again. I'm sure we'll see you guys again, hopefully. Some of you, anyway. Okay, good. So we'll do it again next year. Okay. Thank you.
And so we present this certificate of appreciation, gratefully presented to Barry Sims in honor and sincere appreciation for your support and commitment by serving as workshop facilitator to the participants of the Young Men with Power class program. And so public speaking was a big workshop for us because we knew the participants were speaking, so we actually had 3 sets of workshop facilitators. The next person we had was Mr. Kevin Parsons.
Good evening. Young men, young women, it's good to see you. Jabri, I didn't forget what I promised you. You're quite welcome. Before I begin, I just want to really highlight and emphasize and underscore what Katir and Keenan has done in terms of pouring into the lives of these young people. They have given them an opportunity not only to be young people, but to be successful at a young age.
Amen.
Because the skill sets and the workshops that Barry and I and others have done, we are planting the seeds. We're planting the seeds for young people who will go forth many years from now and will reap the benefits of those workshops. Secondly, what I've experienced with these young people, and this is my 3rd year, is that they are bright beyond measure. Very bright. And the fact that they had an opportunity to come in contact with lawyers, broadcasters, other students of the UV community, it gives them an opportunity to begin to develop themselves and their personality. And so I was very proud to engage them in the public speaking workshop. And the skill that we work on is visual aids. We work on those multi-sensory kinds of things in your presentation that bring certain points to life when you're speaking. Whether it's using a whiteboard, whether it's using charts, PowerPoint, and those kinds of things. I was able to take Candy to illustrate, and I really embedded a financial literacy lesson into the theme. I gave each of them $100,000. Not good. But they had a $100,000 bar. And then we were able to have them do an exercise where they came up with a project that they would invest in as investors. And they were supposed to take that $100,000 and turn it into $1 million. Well, they didn't do that. I did. I gave them $1 million bar. But I think through it all in terms of the multi-sensory piece, because they were able to touch it, feel it, taste it, right? See it, and hear it, right? So they were able to do all those things, and they did a very good job. So I'm proud of you this evening. You look wonderful, you look magnificent. It's the way that we like to see young people dress. And Jabri, don't forget to see me, because I have what I said I would have for you. All right, thank you very much.
And so this certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Kevin Parson in honor and sincere appreciation for your support and commitment by serving as workshop facilitator to the participants of the Young Men with Power class program. And the last group we have here who also work with the participants on public speaking is the University of Baltimore Black Law Student Association. So if you all can all come up.
Thank you. Hi guys. How's it going? Good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Fraser. I'm a second year evening student at the University of Baltimore School of Law. To my left here we have
Tiara Hawks. Michelle Battle, first year law student. I'm a third year, I'm about to graduate.
That's right, she's a third year, about to graduate. If there's any lawyers in the room, I'm sure she might want to talk to you guys afterwards. But anyway, anyhow, just want to first and foremost say thank you to Keenan and Katia for the opportunity to work with this amazing group of young people. I want to emphasize amazing. The future looks bright here in Baltimore. Absolutely. Let me say that again. The future looks bright here in Baltimore. This is a phenomenal group. As I said, we had the opportunity to work with them on public speaking. We really emphasized the points of capturing, connecting with, and keeping your audience. And that really speaks to engagement. So some of the things we talked about, and I saw each and every one of you do it when you got up here. Got up, announced yourself, confidence and clarity, made eye contact, and looked around the room. You guys paced yourselves, took your time, made sure that you emphasized with inflection the things that you wanted to communicate to everyone else. So once again, I want to say thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Look forward to working with you guys again, and just looking forward to seeing the great things that you guys do in the future. Thank you.
So this certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to the University of Baltimore Black Law Student Association in honor and sincere appreciation for your support and commitment by serving as workshop facilitators to the participants of the Young Men with Power and Men with Class program. And so just to give you a highlight of some of the other workshops that the participants did, they also did a financial literacy workshop with Operation Hope. The males, they did a professional dressing workshop with Dark King. We also took the participants to Terrapin Adventures, where they did a outside team building activity where they went zip lining and they did some rock wall climbing and some, they did a swing that some of them were a little bit afraid of. We also took them to DC. We went to the White House. We went to the MLK Memorial. We went to the Lincoln Memorial. Also one Saturday, the guys, we went and played football, and they injured Keith. But those are just highlights of some of the workshops that we did. So at this moment, we're getting ready to give the awards to the participants for completing the program. Again, tonight is about them. We will first give our awards to the females and women with class, and then to the males and young men with power. And so you will actually come down when your name is called up here to the front, so there's plenty of space for your family to see you and take pictures.
So the first award that we have is to Jordan Banks. This certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Jordan Banks for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Little Class program. For Bria Baylor. For your active and valuable participation and completion of the Linwood Class program. Next we have Shayla Harris for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Women with Class program. Next we have Natalia Jones for your active and valuable participation and completion of the program. Next we have Audrey Marley for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Women's Class program. Next we have Krajana Scott for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Women with Class program. Next we have Demetris Underwood for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Women with Class program. And finally, completion of the Women with Class program. Okay, next we have the Young Men with Power participants.
So also to highlight, as well as the certificates the participants are receiving, they're also receiving a small gift bag. And in that gift bag, there is a small crystal for each of the participants. Also, we want to acknowledge and thank again Zion Development Corporation, who decided to donate money to get each of the participants shirt and ties. That's also in the gift bags for the males, and I believe for the females they have journals and some other goodies. But the first person we're going to have to come up is Terrell Carr. And the certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Terrell Carr for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. The next person is Japri Chessel. The certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Japri Chessel for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. The next award is going to Jalen Edwards. The certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Jalen Edwards for the active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. Next award is going to Sylvester Graham. The certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Sylvester Graham for the active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. This next award is going to Matthew Hammonds. The certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Matthew Hammonds for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. The certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Ernest Marbley for your active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. To our All-Star, this is his third year in the program. He's grown
for 3 years we've been in the program. And this certificate of participation is gratefully presented to Jeremy Seaton for their active and valuable participation and completion of the Young Men with Power program. And the next two awards next two people we want to recognize are the people who are behind the scenes for our organization. Everyone tonight has said Katia or has said Keenan, but what we do every Saturday cannot be done without these two individuals. They've committed the 16 weeks that it took to do this program from November all the way up until March. And so the first person we're going to recognize is Natalie Cole. And the next person is Mr. Keith Jackson. And Keith was my mentor when I was growing up, so yeah, this is definitely a special moment. Next, we're going to move forward in our program. We have a few people who we're going to invite to come up and just bring greetings from their office. We're first going to hear from Senator Marvin Mikulski's office, then we're going to hear from Governor Larry Hogan's office, and then we're going to hear from the councilman who represents the 4th District in Baltimore County.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here first to support my colleague, Keenan Jeter, and support Katia and all the participants up here. We just so appreciate the work that you did. We know sometimes it wasn't easy. Keenan, I know he can be a little rough sometimes, getting you to do what he needs you to do, but I'm sure it was fun, it was well worth it, and I'm sure next year you'll want to tell your friends about it and come back again. To everyone that's here that supported the program, we thank you. And on behalf of Senator Mikulski, we bring you greetings. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve McAdams, and I'm from the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives. I am a 25-year friend of Governor Hogan. I was in his wedding, and I talked to him on my way down here tonight, and I cannot tell you how appreciative we are that we were, one, invited here, and two, that we have produced such beautiful young people. You know, we got into the race, or he's a very successful businessman. I've never been in politics before. And we got into politics because we wanted to make a difference. And I don't think that anything Governor Hogan could do with the governor's office can match what these two are doing with these young kids. I would also like to thank everybody here for participating. You have to give back out. And I salute you, and I want to say thank you. I also would like to extend to both of you and all the young, fine young men and young women here to come on down to the State House so that we can honor you in the governor's reception room and get you some photographs. So thank you very much. And we would like all the parents to come too and bring all the things. So we'll set that up. But anyways, I want to give you a governor's citation for the work that you're doing. And from our Office of Community Initiatives, we would like to help you grow this program and provide whatever resources we can to keep making a difference every day.
evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Councilman Julian Jones, and I bring greetings from the Baltimore County Council. And I must say that I am so proud to be here and so proud of each and every one of our young people up here today. And I think it's worthy that we give them another hand. I guess show them some appreciation. And I would also like to thank Keenan and Katia and everyone who participated in helping to mentor and spearhead and lead our children. Because there's no greater calling in our lives than to make sure that our future generations are going to succeed and do well. So I bring greetings once again. I thank everybody for participating, and Godspeed. And thank you very much. Next, we want to take the time to hear just 2 remarks from some parents who participants are in the program. And so the first person we're going to have come up for the second year, his son and his daughter is in the program. So if Mr. Courtney Marbley will come up, we know him as CJ.
Good evening, everyone. I think I can speak for all the parents and say I'm just so proud of this whole group of young ladies and young men. As parents, we always want to do the best for our kids. We want to give them every opportunity. We want to take care of them, push them forward, uplift them. And we spend our lives doing that for them. But when someone else takes time out of their lives to do that for our kids, that's special. You know, you can't ask for anything. You can't ask for a greater love. You can't ask for a greater evidence of the Great Commission than someone else taking time out of their lives, their professions, spending 16 weeks to uplift, mentor, guide, and pour into your kid's life. So I will always be in debt to Keenan and Katia, to Keith and Natalie for taking the time to not only do it for my 2 kids, but for all of the kids here. And it's just a great work. And if we all do that for someone else, the world truly will be a better place. So thank you all.
Another parent up here, she has a son and daughter in the program as well. I'm trying to look at her and she's trying to look away from me. If everybody could please give a round of applause for Ms. Natalie, please.
Good evening, everyone. I remember when I've been with the program ever since it started, and I can remember seeing Keenan. He was at a college where it was like an anti-bullying conference, and I remember him having a sign, "Young Men with Power." And I looked at it, and I looked at the vision and everything, and I'm telling you, I just felt in love with the actual program. The program is very inspirational to our children, and I just love it. It is great for the kids, and without them, I don't know where our children would be. It takes a village to raise our children, and Keenan, Katia, and Keith, I would like to thank all of you for helping our children. And I'd like to give you all something. If I can have Keith up for a moment. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And to Katia and Keenan, we have something we would like to give to you as well, for the both of you. We thank you very much. And Ms. Natalie, thank you, Natalie, for all that you all do. We appreciate you. Have a good evening.
Would you believe it or not, we're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. A minor health scholar from UMBC named Jamie Hurd, who died in 2008, wrote these words: "I value life because I realize that too many people waste it. I smile because I realize that too many people cry. I laugh because I know too many people take things too seriously. I lead because too many people have been led astray. I teach because so many people are ignorant. I speak because people need to listen. I listen because so many people have been ignored. I have fun because too many people are always busy. I live for a purpose because too many people have died for no purpose. I love because too many people show hate. I keep trying because too many people give up. I appreciate what I have because so many people take it for granted. Life is beautiful." Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I believe we can all agree that life is beautiful. Tonight we have 7 young men and 8 young women who have completed the Young Men with Power and Women with Class program. When I first thought about what I wanted to do to give back to my community, I struggled on finding ways and ideas to truly give back to my community. And I knew I wanted to do something to impact young men who look like myself. And growing up, I was blessed to be in programs such as Young Men with Power that helped and shaped me to who I am today. And some of you have heard this story, but a lot of you haven't. It wasn't until 2012 when I was driving 3 o'clock in the morning and I fell asleep behind the wheel and my car flipped over into a ditch. It was after that moment that I realized it's important to give back to your community because life is short. And that was my wake-up call to say, hey, you have this thing in your head, you have this thing on your mind, go forward and do it. And so that's where Young Men with Power came from. It came from that car accident on October 8th, 2012. And so I say to the participants, with your help, you all have achieved a lot. Tonight you complete this program as young men with power. You are young men with purpose. You're young men with optimism. You're young men with wisdom. You're young men who are engaged. You're young men who are responsible. Each of you have accomplished self-reliant manhood, responsibility, self-esteem, ethical values, culture proficiency, and I congratulate you for that. And someone said it earlier, I can't remember who said it, but one of the things my mom taught me growing up is you finish what you start. I think Ray McCree said that, you finish what you start. And we started this program with 13 young men. As you can see, we only have 7. And so I congratulate the 7 of you all because you completed what you started. And I also congratulate the parents because you set an example for your children of making sure that they complete what they start. And I want to leave you with some of these words. Again, I congratulate each and every one of you. Just remember as you move up the ladder to reach back and pull others up with you. Remember that failure is not an option, and success is not a choice. Your success is not measured by the number of tailor suits you have or the amount of money that you may make. Each of you will succeed, and remember that your mistakes are just rebounds. When temptation and peer pressure comes knocking at your door, remember that you are someone because God does not make junk, and each one of you are destined to do great things. As you go through life, remember these words. Watch your thoughts, for your thoughts become your words. Watch your words, because your words become your actions. Watch your actions, because your actions become your habits. Watch your habits, because your habits become your character. Watch your character, because your character becomes your destiny. You all are destined to do great things. Congratulations to you.
Quick, because I know you're ready to go. First, I want to say thank you to all of our workshop facilitators. Thank you to Natalie and Keith. Thank you to everyone here in the room. Thank you to the participants, because without you, the program wouldn't even be possible. I have a quote to start off with. I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It is there all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to stress the importance of this quote. I wanted each and every single one of these 8 young ladies to be able to look inside themselves and see that they had character, that they had leadership, that they had achieved something in life, that they had success, and most of all, I wanted them to be able to see the strength that they had and exude all the time. I spent the first year with the Young Middle Power program, shadowing them and helping out with them. And then I realized there is not a program for our young ladies. We need a program like this for our young ladies. Our young women need to have character, leadership, achievement, success, and strength, because we as young ladies have always been on the opposite side of the spectrum. Young women are not known for how smart they are. Young women are not known for all the hard work that they do, but rather young women are known for what they look like, for what they say out of their mouths, and how big their breasts and butts are.
All right.
And I wanted to be able to break that stereotype. So, with the help of different people, I was able to start Women with Class. And now I want to be clear, I did not start this program for my own benefit, but for the benefit of others. I've learned by holding this program now in its 2nd year that the greatest joy in life is being able to give of myself and being able to be humble, selfless, kind, and always eager to help strive towards the advancement of others. And so to the participants, I say this: you are women with class. You all have mastered self-confidence, self-esteem, and high self-respect for yourselves. And I leave you with this: always remember that life is about finding yourself, and life is about creating yourself. And you all have molded yourselves into women with class. Thank you.